ecovegangal.com. If you've been following me, you know I talk a lot about food, and I'm really trying to make more of an effort to talk more about the eco-friendly side of it all. I feel like the word eco-vegan ties it all in, and my whole lifestyle is about being good to your body and good to the planet. But I want to give you some more tips on things besides eating. So this is a great video to start with. How can we be more eco-friendly when we're eating in at a restaurant or taking out from a restaurant? Because, you know, we do that pretty often, at least I do. I don't always have time or interest or energy to cook, so I like to eat out sometimes. It's great, it's fun, it's exciting, but it can also have quite an impact if we're not really conscious about our decisions. So I'm going to summarize a few things right now and then go in more in depth into them. First of all, I think if you're following me, you know that I talk a lot about eating locally, organic, non-GMO food, of course, vegetarian and vegan food, and anything that's sustainably harvested, made, grown, etc. Those are all really clear ways, simple ways for us to eat eco-friendly overall, whether we're at a restaurant or not. But there's a lot more that we can do. The main things I'm going to talk about today are how you should bring your own and things that you can bring with you to restaurants, and just using less. So here we go. Number one is something that I think really needs to be addressed more often, and I think it's kind of an odd thing that happens at restaurants, is straws. Where did we get into using straws all the time? To me, straws don't have much purpose, especially in the United States where we have very clean restaurants for the most part. We don't really need to worry about germs so much, so why do we need a straw to sip out of a glass? I don't think it's necessary unless you're drinking certain things, maybe like a smoothie or something that's going to be a little bit thicker. So number one would be to ask for no straw. Even sometimes water, we're given a straw in our water. And if you're don't have a major preference for straws, just ask for none. And sometimes the restaurants will forget and bring it to you anyways, but just constantly asking and getting into that habit of asking is a really good eco habit to get into. Also, if you do like straws and you don't, the whole experience of using a straw with a drink is important to you, you can actually buy your own reusable straws and bring them around with you. That might sound kind of silly, but I'm going to talk a lot about bringing your own. So this is just kind of part of the kit. There are some fantastic glass straw companies out there. Dharma and Strawsome are the two big wigs out there. You can easily find them online and even in some stores. And they're very durable. They come in, you can get special cases for them to carry them around. You can also get stainless steel. Those are a little bit harder to find, but definitely out there, especially online. And of course, those are super durable, and all of them are very easy to clean. Speaking of things like drinks and water, water is a big thing. When we go to restaurants, the first thing that we have is water. It's put on the table or it's brought over by the waitstaff right away. Some restaurants have gotten to the habit of waiting until a customer asks for water because they're trying to conserve, which is great. I don't think that we think enough about water. In fact, tomorrow, March 20th, there's a lot of stuff going on with water conservation and being more conscious, and this whole month of March is actually all about that. So in addition to conserving water at your home, think about it at a restaurant. Do you really need to have 5 cups of water throughout your dining experience? Probably not, but it keeps getting poured into your glass, you keep drinking and drinking it. And while it's healthy, I think a lot of us overconsume water, and the waitstaff is always trying to keep our cups topped off. So that's the other thing, is that if you don't feel like you need water, just don't ask for it. Or you could bring your own container. This is my Klean Kanteen, which I bring everywhere with me. So bring this with you and fill up your own water. You can also pour the leftover water from your cups into your own containers and bring it with you so that it's not wasted. And this is also great because they won't have to wash their cups, which again requires more water in the dishwasher or hand washing, however they do it. Napkins are another big thing. If you notice, a lot of restaurants, especially takeout places or fast food places, they'll give you like a stack of napkins, like at least 5 napkins. The servers are usually just grabbing a handful and handing it to you. I actually rarely use napkins, believe it or not, and when I do want one, I use my own. So that's the third thing, in addition to a straw and a container. Bring your own napkins with you. You can get cloth napkins all over the place. You can bring them from home. That's a super great way to conserve it, so you don't need napkins at all. If you don't have a napkin with you, just ask for less. Just take one napkin at a time and use it as you go. Also, if you only use a little bit of the napkin, I actually will take that napkin and put it in my pocket and use it later if I need to blow my nose, wipe up something, or I need a napkin later on. So I don't worry that much about germs, so I don't care carrying around a dirty napkin in my pocket. Sounds a little gross, but it's not really at all. And speaking of things like cloth, paper towels. When we go to use the restroom to wash our hands, go to the bathroom, we'll often use paper towels because that's what restaurants have to offer. A lot of times they'll be eco-friendly, but we're still using something. So I actually, when I wash my hands, I usually just dry my hands on my pants. I've been meaning to research that more to see how sanitary it is, but I don't really care. But for sanitary reasons, you might want to use a towel. So there's a great company out there called People Towels who makes these fantastic reusable cloth towels you can carry around in your kit. And they're actually, you can clip them on to your pant pocket or a bag that you have with you even. Also, a lot of restaurants tend to use air dryers, and we'll have that as an option in addition to the paper towels, so use those when you can. And encourage restaurants to use the air dryers instead of the paper towels. Speaking of other things to bring along with you and things that can attach to your bags are utensils. And there's a great company called Go Ware out there that has a great reputation, and they make bamboo utensils that you can clip onto any bags. Really great, very portable. I always have those with me because oftentimes when we eat out, we're given plastic utensils to take out with us. So we'll need a fork, a knife, a spoon. Sometimes restaurants have biodegradable, compostable, corn-based utensils, which is great, but you're still using something that you're going to ultimately throw out. So bringing your own is huge. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I talked about bringing your own water container earlier. You can also bring your own hot container. It could be even a dual purpose container for water, or also hot drinks if you're going to get coffee or tea. A lot of times those will come in a throwaway cup. So bringing those with you, especially if you're just going to go to the coffee shop, is a huge thing. Speaking of containers, another thing you can do is to bring your own container for food. So this is great for when you're getting leftovers. So instead of having to use styrofoam, or even like the biodegradable or paper-based products out there, having your own with you is great. There are a ton of companies. LunchBots is the first one that comes to mind. You can find them in Whole Foods, but tons of stainless steel options out there which are lightweight. Would definitely avoid plastic if you can for a host of reasons, and glass is typically too heavy and fragile. These containers are also good sometimes when you're getting takeout, because some restaurants will actually put your takeout food into your containers if you arrive a little bit early and ask them to. Although I wouldn't expect it because sanitary reasons, a lot of restaurants can't or won't do that. Speaking of leftovers, one thing that's really important to keep in mind is to only order as much as you really think that you can eat. Don't let your eyes be bigger than your stomach, because a lot of times we go to restaurants and we supersize things, or we order huge things, and we don't eat them all. And if, a lot of people just send them back, leave the restaurant, they won't get them as leftovers. So if you're not going to get things as leftovers, or you can't at the time, try to order smaller portions or share things with people, just because who wants to see food go to waste? What else? I think those are most of the points. Speaking of those sort of topics, supporting restaurants that have compost bins is fantastic. What a great way to get rid of food scraps and things that people don't eat. Encouraging restaurants to do this is huge. Also encouraging restaurants to have recycling bins for any sort of products that you might need to recycle, or some companies will actually use compostable products to put on their food. So, for example, I was at a burger place the other day, and all the burgers were wrapped in compostable paper, which I thought was really cool. And they even had a sign up and special bins for you to put that in versus the rest of the trash. And also something that a lot of people don't think about is taking public transportation to restaurants, walking there or biking there, taking the bus, taking a subway if you can, or carpooling. Avoiding restaurants that are far away and sticking to restaurants that are within your neighborhood makes a huge difference for the planet. All in all, it's really about thinking consciously and encouraging businesses to do things that are good for the environment. There's a great website and organization called the Green Restaurant Association. So encouraging restaurants to be Green Restaurant certified is great, or just showing them as a resource all the things that other restaurants are doing can go a long way. And one of the best things, since I know a lot of you are really social, is to promote them through social media. You'll see me do this all the time. If I see a company doing something that's super eco-friendly, I'll mention it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Foursquare, all the places that I can, just to let them know that they're doing a great job, to thank them, and to encourage other restaurants out there that might be following me to do the same thing, because all of these ideas can go viral really fast. Let me take one last look. Well, and of course, supporting these green businesses is also a huge thing. Something I didn't mention is if a business is green certified, I don't know why I'm pointing out this way, towards the street, I guess, but supporting them, you'll see the stickers on their window a lot of time, and just, telling your friends that you prefer to go to one restaurant because they're greener. That makes a huge difference. And just encouraging your friends in general, actually, with all these little things that you can do. I've talked a lot about products that you can carry around with you, and some people say that's too much of a hassle, or I don't want to carry around all this stuff, I'll look like a hobo. I just think it's a great talking point when you're carrying around eco-friendly, reusable products. People are impressed because I think everyone wants to go green these days, so don't be embarrassed about any of this stuff. You can bring around a reusable shopping bag, which people do all the time. Women can put this stuff in their purses, men can use messenger bags. Just do it and make a stand for being green. And most people are going to commend you and get excited and want to do it too, which is exactly what I'm all about promoting. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much, as always, for watching. Speaking of all social media, you'll see on the next slide, you'll see my website, you'll see all the social media buttons. All the links are down below here on YouTube. I would love to hear your comments. If I left out any great eco-friendly tips, please add them in there, and everyone else check the comment section for those. If you have any questions, the best way to ask them is through the link down below here. Instead of asking me here on YouTube, it's a lot easier for me to keep track if you add it into the form. And again, there's a little link down here that will lead you to that form where you can ask your question, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Also, if you can subscribe to the channel, that'd be great, because then you'll be the first to know when I have a new video. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.